right at the heart of Cape Verde's archipelago on Alex Thompson's boat. It's as if you were there. That was yesterday late afternoon.
It's haven't really lost the wind so far. All is good. Pleased to be in second. Not sure I'm going to be in second for long. We'll see how it all pans out after these jives are done. That's it for now.
And for Alex, things turned out really well. His choice to glide through the islands, he wasn't slowed down by volcanic mountains. As a result, he's ahead and well rewarded of his last day's fantastic cavalcade. Still to figure if he's in the best position to approach the Doldrums, because now he's going to need to head west, and at that game, Sébastien Josse may have a slight advance. Today, Sunday, November 13th, we're just about 1 week into the race, and unfortunately, the first serious damages have appeared. So you see here, the masthead. It's broken right here. I'm not far from Cape Verde, so I'll try and stop there, see if there are solutions, because it's too darn stupid. Gosh darn it. To Tanguy de la Motte's important damages, we can add those less worrisome of Jean-Pierre Dick and Kojiro Shiraishi. A torn foresail for the Japanese competitor. More of a philosopher you couldn't imagine. I lost a sail I was going to use a lot in the South Seas. We're going to overcome this drama with love, courage, and perseverance. And even under these conditions, I must keep smiling to accomplish my world around. That one, since the start, we've been hoping to get it, and it's now arrived.
Bon, alors voilà.
So here it is, my first video. Already to be there was great, but to be here is even better. And each day gets better and better. So that's it. Otherwise, I wanted to save the files on the camera. It's complicated. I don't really know how to handle that. Anyway, a great Sunday to you all, and yes, we can.
Yes, we can.
The 8th Vendee Globe is in its second week. Towards the middle of the fleet, uncomfortable sailing constraints have faded slightly, making room when weather conditions allow it to taking care of one's own precious self. And the first comfort is a shower. And on Cape Verde's latitude, it feels rather good. As much as others, maybe even more, he particularly savors to glide in the trade wind. For his third participation, Quito de Pavon had never made it so far into the race. Here we are off Cape Verde Islands. Weather's fine, it's great. But on the other hand, it's like a pressure washer all over. I tell you, the boat's clean. For the boats ahead, the trade wind is already part of the past. A privileged witness, however, worried. Jérémy Bayou. It's a battlefield. We're well into the Doldrums, with bloody clouds. Look at these. Bloody dark clouds, 30 knots. Gotta watch out. So yes, they're in the Doldrums. This zone between Africa and South America, where Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere trade winds crash into each other, forming a climatic hodgepodge going from the most violent rains to the calmest. So here's the entrance of the Doldrums. Not much fun since this morning. Wind turned 180 degrees and we're in a dead zone. You want to see a foil that's good for nothing? Here, nothing at all. Except drag in the water. That's all it does. Alex Thompson Foils, way ahead, has obviously worked at it a little longer. Around midday, Hugo Boss had pushed back his first pursuers Armel Lecléache and Sébastien Josse at more than 80 miles. Oh, you see? The headmast. It broke right here. Last Saturday, Tanguy de la Motte was victim of a damage we could qualify as major. For several days, in the optic of a complicated repair, the Initiative Curl skipper was heading towards Cape Verde's archipelago. After a short stopover and given the extent of the damages, it's hard to imagine how he couldn't give up. I'm all the way up the mast. It's all torn. There's no use trying. That's it. At the front, the Doldrums already in the wake of the 7 boats heading the group and led by Alex Thompson. Uncontested leader of the Vendee Globe, Hugo Boss's skipper is sailing in true happiness. For him, the planets are very well lined up.
As you can see behind me, we have a supermoon apparently. So certainly looks super to me tonight. Really lit up the sky, and I'll take that as a fantastic omen. It's been a fantastic day today. I think that's the easiest doldrum crossing I have ever had. As I get further south, I'll have more wind, and the wind will be further left, which means it's more reachy. I can ease the sails and go faster. So that should be the normal trend. Looking at the forecast, that's saying what it should happen. So hopefully we'll see an extension, and we'll have to see how that pans out at the end.
About 60 miles behind Alex Thompson, who should be crossing the equator tonight, the first pursuers, slightly groggy, are named Armel Lecléache and Vincent Rioux, and they're navigating at second. We're going to try to catch up with our friend Alex, the Brit. It's the beginning of the crunch. Whether you like it or not, between the French and the British, there'll always be a question of supremacy over the oceans.
Bonjour.
Hello. We just crossed the equator with the Saint-Michel Virbac. Great gliding sensations.
Keep smiling, we are still on the race.
Today, Thursday, November 17th, 12 have entered the southern hemisphere. For Morgon-la-Gravière, it was yesterday morning and certainly not insignificant. It's a wonderful news. It's a first for me and for the boat. A certain pride to have brought this great piece all the way out here and further on. The boat is efficient. The last 24 hours were very fast. Faster than Maître Coq and SMA, the next on the list. Anyway, everything's great, so we're enjoying it. For the other 17 competitors still in the northern hemisphere, the cross of the equator will be spread over several days. At the other end of the fleet, Didac Costa knows the route is still long, but when the winds blow and the sun shines, everything goes. It's a wonderful day on One Planet, One Ocean. We're heading south, a little lower than the Canary Islands latitude. And these last hours, we've had heavy showers, one after the other. So, we're on, and even faster. In the next hours, the Spaniard should be crossing Tanguy de la Motte's route heading north towards Les Sables d'Olonne. The first messages of comfort coming from the open sea were sent to Initiative Curl's skipper.
10e jour passé en mer.
It's the 10th day at sea. I'm right in the doldrums. Complicated day full of maneuvers, heavy showers and so on. But today, all my thoughts go to you, Tanguy. I think greatly of you and wish you get back well to Les Sables. And I'm sure you'll get your revenge soon. On the outposts, Alex Thompson is still leading the dance in front of Armel Lecléache and Sébastien Josse. For the group ahead, the follow-up should show up soon, very soon. A low pressure is forming south of the Brazilian coastlines, which could reduce the effects of St. Helene's High and allow the leader to cross Cape of Good Hope in record time. Somewhere offshore Brazil with Sébastien Josse.
On accélère direction le sud.
We're speeding up, heading south. Trying to catch a cold front that should take us towards the Cape of Good Hope soon. So we're reaching 20 knots. It's quite noisy, but at least we make miles. The Edmund de Rothschild boat, reaching, port tack, leaning on his starboard foil, blasting such a high sound frequency, Sébastien Josse is required to wear earmuffs. And as to take 5 at that speed, it's frankly against all odds.
Ça fait un peu de bruit.
It's rather loud, and of course, unsteady. And with all that, you gotta get some sleep. All right, good night, everybody. Seeing these images confirms that with the foilers, a great deal of mental and physiological strength is required on the scale of a world around. A profile that actually corresponds to Alex Thompson. Uncompromising leader, he hasn't ceased widening the gap with his pursuers Armel Leclerc and Sébastien Josse lagging behind at 100 miles in the middle of the afternoon. In the back, the Equator keeps delivering its crossing certificates. That's it! 024 south? Yes! Yesterday morning, it was Thomas Rouillon's turn to get his passport stamped. While we thought getting there was no small thing. Let's have a drink with Neptune. A little beer. Come on, a little shot with Neptune. Here's for first chunk done. Cheers. On the 13th day of the race, let's not become superstitious, but tough blows have fallen hard on the Vendée Globe's fleet. A day marked by the first official abandonment, that of Bertrand de Broc. Yesterday, he had to dive twice under his boat's hull to evaluate the state of his keel after a shock that occurred passing Madeira. The damages I found aren't huge, but very restraining to keep on sailing. The nose cone careening are busted, and so it seems complicated to fix underwater. Well, it's a boat. You gotta respect it too. When it's damaged, you got to tend to it. It could have damaged the top of the keel with the need to change it all. As it is, the boat can still sail, so I can bring it back. This will be the third abandonment on 4 participations for this charismatic skipper who marked the Vendée Globe's history in 1992. He had had to sew his tongue himself. At the head of the race, off Cap Verde's Islands, Alex Thompson, the clear front runner of this 8th edition, was suddenly victim of damages on his starboard foil.
Yesterday morning, I was dozing when there was an almighty bang. The boat turned hard to starboard. The rudder popped up. Once I'd managed to get the rudder back down and get the boat sorted out, I realised that the foil had broken, the starboard foil had broken. There's still a bit of it there, jagged edges sticking out the side of the boat, slowing me down. But I can't do anything about that. I can't get it in any further. So at some point I'm going to have to, I guess, go over the side and cut it off. But apart from that, everything's good. Still, the boat sails just fine without the foil. And obviously I've got the foil on the other side. So, I'm hoping that I'll be able to hang out here ahead and praying for lots of starboard tack. All is not lost. I'm in good shape. I'm feeling good. And I'll catch you soon.
This evening, Alex Thompson is still leading, but his pursuers mile after mile are catching up. For information, yesterday, if the foil hadn't broken, Alex Thompson would have largely broken the distance record in 24 hours held by François Gabard in 2012. All he was missing was 259 meters on 990 kilometers.